Kia ora, good morning, and welcome to Yap. I am absolutely delighted, thrilled, and privileged to be joined by the one and only Maddie.
Slay. I'm so tired right now.
And why are you tired, Maddie? What happened yesterday?
I'm surprised you're not tired because we both went to the same bloody thing. So did Abdel, but he's not here on the thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
We have Abdel with us. He has no mic. So
Yeah. He's mic-less and sad. No, we went to the Dating Voice today. That's obviously a show that we do, or Dow does in Laura, and it's where people find love, blind.
Yeah, or, not quite love, maybe lust.
Maybe lust.
Because, boy, that room was hot last night, and I don't just mean the temperature. Why did I say that so weirdly? Yeah, it was. There were some interesting characters, wasn't there, Maddie?
There always is. People just get off. I don't know. I've been on the show before.
Yes.
Not nearly would anything provoke me to put myself out there like those people did,
Yeah, I think for example, the first people, the steal wasn't genuine. So for those who don't know, I won't go into too much detail, but essentially there's a couple that's on stage, boy and a girl. Oh, actually, there's been a same sex once, hasn't there? Yeah, amazing. And two right, as there should be. We should get more of those. But there was a boy and a girl, and essentially they are blindfolded. They ask questions about each other. So one's off stage, one's on stage, and the climax, pardon the pun, is that they choose whether or not they want to go on a date with each other, but someone in the audience can steal, and then obviously the person on stage has the ability to accept or reject them. And what is wild is when a girl comes on stage to steal, and you think she's going to steal the boy, and she steals the girl.
Yeah.
Hectic. But yeah, so there was that, and then the second couple, I can't remember which one was the second couple. Gosh, this is not good podcasting.
Must have been too boring.
No. Kelvin and Gat was the third couple, wasn't it?
No, it's cows.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. My apologies. Yes. So yeah, we had Kelvin and the tall blonde girl who was she was a vibe.
I loved her.
Yes, Simone. I think her name is Simone. Simone. She was awesome. She was awesome. So cool and so cute and lovely. Yeah.
It's funny because it sounds bad. So another guy actually went up and stole her. Well, tried to steal her a barn, and her friends were sitting in the front row. And as soon as she chose the other guy, cows, they were like, oh. They were annoyed.
Yeah, because I think from the discussions that were on stage, I think the chap who she didn't pick would have been like a nice date, very, very calm, very kind of funny guy. But I think there was a little bit of a sexual element from what she wanted with the other guy.
True, but also you got to think they're in the green room when the other person's talking shit to the whole audience. So we're getting this insight of these people. And it's don't like them. But when they come out and talk to the person, that's the only perception that they have of them. They don't actually hear all the rest. They didn't hear all the...
That's very true. And you know what was interesting?
He was on his best behaviour when she came out.
You know what was interesting as well, right? You know when Kelvin said, I would take you to the beach, right? Yeah. Also, but prior to that, she had said a story about how she got taken to the beach with a bad pizza. Remember this, right? So when the stealing guy came up and he said, yeah, I'd take you to the beach, but there wouldn't be any pizza with weird stuff on it. Kelvin was cut because he thought he was talking about him. Yes. He was like, oh, what you're saying I'd put weird stuff on a pizza or something. So you're so right.
Yeah.
People forget that dynamic massively. That we're getting such a different experience to what the contestants are getting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mad. Yeah, mad. But then the last one was crazy. There was some lust in that room, and then I think the blonde girl, Kira, she was acting like I don't remember her name. She was gorgeous. She was
so bubbly.
Yeah, she was so lovely.
She was so cute.
I don't think she was happy with the guy that stole her. I don't know.
No,
trust me. They kissed, and she was just and then play with her hair afterwards. It was.
But she said he was her type.
She did say that was her type in the green room.
Yeah.
So,
what, long hair and?
Yeah,
maybe she was just nervous.
Yeah, fair play. I don't know.
There was a few people that put their hand up to steal her though.
Yeah,
I think I saw 3-4 guys.
There was plenty.
And I was just like, frig, take your pick.
Yeah, wow. But there's a one-person limit for stealing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, fair enough.
Has to be just for the show's sake.
Yeah. And also, last thing on Dating Boy, before we move on, I just want to say a shout out to Troy and Elisa. They were amazing hosts. I know Troy very well. He's a very, very good guy.
I just listened to Troy on the radio this morning.
Yeah, that's it. That's how I know him through my...
Yeah. Told a great puberty story.
Oh, really?
Yeah, erection on the bus.
Oh, classic.
Yeah, classic.
It's always like when you don't want one, you get one, and there's times when you need one, and it's like, oh, come on. Like,
Yeah, totally.
all those times when I could.
You know, it's the same. Well, actually, we won't get into it. But
Go on, Mads. I feel like
I was
you
going
got
to say it's
something.
the same for women sometimes.
We're getting it. Oh, in
The
terms
other-
of, okay.
Yeah, it happens. Anyway,
Okay.
No idea what's going on.
I'm so sorry, I'm
Abdel's
down.
out of his depth.
Okay, we have a couple light topics, just like it's almost like fire. What's the quick fire?
Quick fire. Well, it's Friday.
We're doing
yeah.
quick fire Friday.
Quick fire Friday.
Topics. Topic number 1 is Raygun has quit competitive breakdancing.
Yes, thank fuck. Actually, no.
Can you say what I just said?
Okay, so apparently Raygun, you know, the kangaroo
Oh, the
breakdancing
Aussie
lady.
breakdancer.
Yeah,
Yes,
the
I
one in the
thought it was
Olympics.
Raygun. I was like, Vikings? Yeah,
She's quit competitive breakdancing. Cool. Here's my take on this. One,
Go.
I think, okay, maybe I'm a devil's advocate. I do think she is good. Would I say she's great? No. But I think she respects. Okay, no, actually, that's too big of a word. I think she shouldn't stop competing. I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem is that she just shouldn't have. She shouldn't have had the the demeanor afterwards, the way she went about it, acting cocky and as if she deserved to go to the Olympics. I don't want to say it like that either. I don't know how to say it. I just don't think she handled it well afterwards. But I don't think that should make her be peer pressured into not competing. I don't think that's nice.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because I'm aware of the story, and I was in Australia at the time when it happened, and there was a lot of love for her and a lot of support.
Yeah.
But I think around the world it was quite different, and I think people forget Australia, even though it's obviously like 5 times the population of New Zealand, and it's a very established country. It still does have that mentality of like it's isolated, right, from the rest of the world, just like New Zealand. So the way that New Zealand likes to lift its people up, like especially on the world stage, I think Australia does the same.
Yeah.
I think tall poppy only applies when it's like domestic. If someone's representing New Zealand overseas, I think it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But my point is, I totally agree with you. I don't know if I'm going down a weird route here, but I do wonder, like, if she was a guy and had kind of like done that, I feel like people would have been a bit more sympathetic because I think that blokes in the media get a lot more credit for like owning things, no matter how foolish they are. Whereas like I agree with you though, Mads. Like when I saw her, I found the whole thing a bit jarring, and I was a little bit like, oh my god, like back in your box, please. But
It's
if that
because
was
we're comparing her to other breakdancers.
Yeah.
Though. This is the thing.
yeah,
right.
but I do think that if that was some like, you know, plucky like Aussie guy, and he was like, yeah man, I thought I just came on board and breakdancing, mate. Like
He'd be more iconic, I
Yeah,
reckon.
yeah,
People would be
yeah.
like, Slay King. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. But your bias is the same as my bias. Like I thought the same thing. I was like, nah, this is jarring as. Like I don't want to know this. Oh my god, just shut up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if it was a guy, the media would have corralled around him, and our biases would have been more onto him.
I think an important thing is that to note 2 things. One, she's only like she hasn't quit dancing. She's only gonna dance at home. So like, it's not like.
That's not even
That's
no.
so sad.
What? Just
That's so
dance on the
sad.
bloody PC.
Oh, that's so sad. It's like I'm not going to give up singing, but I do it from my bedroom. No one's going to film it. I just do it for me.
No, that's terrible.
Bless her. That's so sad.
I think the other thing is that she's also built a fucking social media empire from this. She has 200K followers.
Oh no wonder she's quitting effing dancing. Then like she doesn't need to do it anymore.
She just needs to film herself, plug it on the Instagram, and then get hate and then get some money.
Let's not forget, right? When someone is this globally known, right? There's eyes on her, and brands need eyes on them. So I think she's going to do all right. And you know what? It's back to the old thing before we wrap this up: is that, you know, is it worth the public humiliation to get some pretty nice amounts of money? If in this case, maybe it is. Who knows? I don't know. That's for Raygun to decide, I
It's
guess.
not for me, but
Yeah.
yeah, I get it. Right, next
What
one.
would you do if you were Raygun? Would you quit?
Well, as I like acting and I like singing, but I am the worst dancer on this earth. So to put myself in the mind of someone who can dance takes a lot of heavy lifting.
I just feel like here's the thing. It's subjective, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't. It's so hard. Like when I say art, I mean performance art. It's so subjective. You can't say that it's good. You can't say it's bad. I was just listening to Andy Samberg's wife, Joanna Newsom, and she is a artist. She sings, she plays harps and all this stuff. you listen to her music, some people will be like, what the fuck is this? Like, seriously. Even I listened to it, I was like, oh, not for me, not
No
for
way.
me. But people in the comments are like, oh my God, the mind that she has. She's so amazing. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Fair,
She
fair.
does, she has a platform. So I don't want to say that, like, you know, taking away is, I don't know why she would do that, but I get it. It's the peer pressure of friggin' what,
Yeah.
the whole world.
Yeah, I think my point is that like the entire world has seen you at your worst, kind of.
Yeah.
So like it'd be a fun redemption story if she actually like really took up breakdancing.
I
like,
think so
professionally,
too,
and then
yeah.
came back and then like
Well,
went
she
to the
is
next
technically a
Olympics.
professional dancer. We can't say that she's not.
Yeah,
Do you mean just like,
a good one. Subjective.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's all subjective.
Wow.
But also, I don't think she's very good at tricks. Okay, like doing the fancy. But from a perspective of someone that like enjoys watching dance, I understand like the moves that she does can be difficult. Like, they're not easy. I couldn't fucking do them.
Yeah.
Like, most of the people in this office couldn't do them.
Yeah,
you know,
no
like
way, no way.
It's just one of those things.
Cool.
Next up, so sorry. You're good. Next up, Australia is trying to introduce a world's first law of banning kids under 16 on social media. They're gonna present it into Parliament in the next week or so, and then if it passes, it'll be put into effect 12 months from now.
Wow. That is crazy.
I agree
I think it's
to an extent.
Yeah, no. I to be honest, it's difficult, right? Because social media. If we were having, put it this way, if we were having this conversation 10 years ago, I would say 100 billion% is a good thing. Like, no question. There's no ramifications. Social media is toxic. It's bad for you, bad for self-image. And I still think those things, and I really, really do. I just find that social media is now. It's such a part of the fabric of life that it's just potentially going to have wider. It's like Pandora's box has already been opened and it's hard to get it back in. I think it's a net positive to ban it because for under 16s, because it is terrible for body image. People, you know, unalive themselves for all sorts of reasons to do with it. I know that my self-esteem certainly suffers with things on social media. Obviously, of course, I have a profile and I choose to be on there, but gosh, even some comment I got this morning, I was walking in and really just made me feel a bit crap about myself. So that's good. But like, you know, if you're under 16 though and you have that sort of stuff every single day, it's not nice. So
It's a bit build up, yeah.
yeah. So to wrap up my point, I think it's a good move. I would just be wary of it being like a blanket ban because it's so integral to what we do now, and there is so much that happens. But you know, Facebook and Twitter were like the biggest ones. I'm not on either of those platforms, even personally. So, yeah, maybe, I overall, I give it the thumbs up. What do you reckon, Mads?
I think, okay, I like it, yes, but I think 16's too high. Now, when I was growing up, I was in that like weird time where Facebook and people getting Facebook was just kind of a thing. Like, I grew up being maybe 12, and that was when Facebook was blowing up and becoming a thing. So I had a phone, you know, I was texting like, you know, pressing 3 4s to get the S, you know, shit like that. You know, I was doing a normal texting thing. But social media, I didn't get social media until I was about 16. I didn't get all that because, like, personally, I just didn't see a point in it for me. Like, I feel like TikToks could be a little bit different, but I feel like when you're a teenager or when you're going through puberty and adolescence, like, it's such a big time in your life where you're kind of realizing things and understanding the world. And yes, social media can be really, really good for that. It can teach you and it can educate, but sometimes it can't, you know.
Yeah,
it can,
I fully agree.
It can absolutely crush you. And especially with someone going through puberty, like, I remember looking back at my school days and thinking, oh my God, why was I so insecure?
Yeah.
Why was I like this? Why did I feel
right.
like this? And then I was like, it wasn't my fault. You know,
totally-
it was just like puberty, hormones, the situation I was in, the environment I was in, and I can't change that. But because social media could have skewed it a little bit, but not as much. But I'm glad I didn't have it because I think it could have actually like really hurt a lot of people more if we had it earlier.
I 100% agree, and I think that also, as you point out with Facebook, the social media that was around back then was wildly different.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, that guy last night, Kelvin, I was having a chat with him before he went on, and he said he moved over to Australia 14 years ago because of MySpace. And like MySpace was, I mean,
Shit.
you guys are too young to.
I had Bebo.
Right, yeah. So, so I had MySpace and I loved it, right? It was really cool. But like, you know, it would be, you'd have your music and you'd have your like your top 8 friends, which looking back was a little bit weird to
Yeah,
like rank
weird.
your friends. But it was still like, it was innocently motivated, and you'd have like 4 pictures.
There's still
and-
like a social hierarchy there.
yeah,
you
no,
know?
no, it absolutely right, absolutely right. But I guess my overarching point is that your profile was far more representative of you in ways more than just pictures. It was very, very expressive.
Right.
Whereas now it's literally just, are you hot? Are you not? Do you know what I mean? And also I think that now people lose their identity a little bit more now. Like the words, like prime example, the TikTok of yours that was so successful last week and it was so brilliant. I think that words are becoming such... The diversity of slang is being lost, right? So like words like slay or words like, I'm not even going to embarrass myself by saying it, but I've never seen a time where people are more obsessed with slang terms, for example, because they're internet terms, right? That are so used. And my point is, I think that social media has become so big and so vast that people are now too scared to step outside of a mold. So my point is, to conclude, MySpace was far more expressive, whereas now I feel like people are a little bit too the same because of social media.
Agree. We gotta go. Thanks for
done.
listening to Yap.
Thank you guys.
See you next Friday.
See ya.